Hello, everybody, and welcome to Toffee Bluecast. Instant match reaction. Newcastle, none. Everton, one. That is right. We have gone there and we have beat them. We want you to get involved in the comments. If you haven't hit that like and subscribe, please do so. It's the last game of the season. It is the last game of the season. A bit emotional. So we'll dig into it, see what we think of the game, pull things out of it. Match reaction, basically, and just come on the Toffee Bluecast and tell us how you feel. Paul, talk to me.
Hello. Nice, wasn't it? I mean, lineup not too many surprises with a few people injured and everything else. Thought we defended very well. That was the main thing. It seemed to be. We had minimal chances, but we took one of them. And Pickford had a really good game, which I was really glad of, because obviously the stick that he would have got if he hadn't would have been unbelievable. But he held his ground. I'm just gutted we didn't get a penalty, which maybe we should have.
Yeah, it was. Well, someone said to me at the start of the game, like, Everton are just sitting deep and it's boring. But I said to them, we'll grow into it. I think when the games are away, you're always going to do that. You're going to see what they've got when they're away. They're always going to have the crowd behind them at the start. And I think you just sit back. You say, what have you got? Bit like Rocky, really. Take the punches and then start throwing a few punches back and getting into the fight. And I think that's what we did. I think we sat back. We took it. We thought, you know what? We're comfortable with this. I thought there'd probably be a better attacking than what there was. And we was comfortable, and I could see us growing into this game, Paul, with the counter-attack, which did look dangerous even the first half, and getting a goal, because there was an Alcaraz header first half where it was similar, and he rose up with a header, and he missed the first header, and I thought, I knew it would come. And let us know in the comments now. I mean, did you, watching the first half, think that we could win that game? Did you, Paul?
I thought... Yeah, I always thought we were in it. If we did win the ball, if we did get back possession of the ball, we didn't give it away too easily, and Beto worked his arse off up front.
Yeah, I love him. You're starting to love him like me, ain't you? He's good. Beto's
well, he just gives everything. I mean, he's not. Oh, I mean, he's not
getting better at holding the ball up, though.
He's great. He's not great skillfully, but he'll work his hardest. I mean, he's no finesse about him whatsoever. The chance that he had second half, where he won the ball high up the pitch, and then had a chance, and then he entered. I don't know why he was running off. He was gonna. You would have thought he'd sort of go to his right and then go from there, and have a comfortable shot on what seemed to be his strongest side. But he thought, oh no, sod that, I'll make it even harder and I'll go towards my left side and then I'll curl it past the post. But yeah, he did a decent job. So I always thought we were in with a chance, set pieces or free kicks and things like that. And we were actually half decent at some point.
Yeah, I just seen in the comments Emma saying, Dan, have you had that top off yet? Yeah, I've had it off loads of times. When we scored, I had it off, swinging it around. Did she mean like top off celebrating, Paul? Did she mean like getting the guns out? You know what I mean? Come on, Everton! You know what? I've got that many lined up. This is my smart one, though. I do save it for the channel, but I have had literally an Everton top on every day. Yeah, if you're on the Toffee Bluecast TikTok, have a look. I've had quite a few. But yeah, I can take a joke, to be fair. And no, I've had it on for 10 years. Well, it ain't been out that long. It's banging. But it's lucky. It is lucky as well. It is very lucky. And this was a cracking game. Do get involved in the comments. And I am, as Emma already said, I am game for people with a banter, to be fair. I love it. I'm a muppet anyway, so get involved. The start of the game, like you just mentioned, Beto. The thing is with Beto, and this is the reason I said I love Beto. We're going to go through a few players on this show. I've got a lot of love tonight for some players, so get ready for me to get excited, right? Beto unsettled centre-backs. Shaw, is it Shaw? How do you say his name? Shaw,
yeah.
The big man.
No.
He's a bit short. Shearshaw, whatever his name is, he's a big guy. He's probably one of the biggest centre backs in the Premier League. And Beto smashed into him, and unsettled him straight away, didn't he? He went smash bang into him. And where Shaw is thinking he's the biggest, baddest centre back going, Beto straight. The thing is, when Beto went into him, Paul, with that header, Beto will just crack heads with him just to get the ball. He will, and I think it scares centre backs because Beto, he's not scared to do anything. Sometimes you come up against some footballers, Paul, where they'll put themselves in a hospital for the club, and Beto's one of them where he'll put himself in hospital for the club. And I think a lot of centre backs are scared of Beto, and although he's a bit clumsy, and although he's not as the, how would you say, like skillful as you probably want up front, he does bring a lot of players into play just through unsettling centre backs. For example, say you play a long ball up to Beto, the centre back's scared of Beto, so he's not cleared the ball where he wants to clear it. Alcaraz is on the ball and Jai is on the ball, and I do believe sometimes you get a lot of joy out of a striker just by unsettling a defence. That's a big tool in football, isn't it? Just to unsettle the defence, to make them not comfortable. And I don't think the Newcastle defence was comfortable all game with Beto. So although sometimes you'd like him to be good at some things, I get what you're saying, Paul. He really does unsettle them. And I think that straight away gets us going and it gets us confident just to unsettle. Because me and Paul on the show, if you go back to the start, we used to say with Calvert-Lewin, just smash into the centre-backs. The centre-backs have had a holiday, we used to say. It was like they've had a holiday all game. Calvert-Lewin hasn't even smashed himself into them, and Beto does that. So that's why I love Beto. Yeah, but he has still got a lot to improve on. Whether we keep him or not, do you think we will? Well, Leeds are knocking at the door. I'd be gutted if he went to Leeds because I think he'd score 15, 20 goals next season.
Lots of people probably would come in for him, to be honest. I think a lot of Newcastle defenders see themselves as very cultured defenders who can, stroll around and pick out passes and all that sort of stuff, and they don't like it up them, and that's what Beto is doing today, giving it right to.
Did you watch Mick Leon's, Paul? I wasn't that here with Mick Leon's. Was it that people used to say he used to be a hardcore player, like run through brick walls, Mick Leon?
Yeah. Mick was, he was slightly before my time. It's more my dad's and my uncle's. But he was kind of, who would you, defending wise, kind of Jags at his best, where he'd throw himself in front of everything, where he'd throw himself in front of everything, but also in attack as well. He scored a few goals. He scored some cracking headers where he'd just throw himself in. And he's kind of die for Everton kind of player that made people love him, to be fair.
Yeah, that's what I do like. So the goal, we'll talk about the goal. We'll talk about everything, get it involved in the comments. There was a new tool there that said show your comments on stage, Paul. I don't know.
It was. We'll have to find out when someone puts another one in. Yeah. But I'll just throw some of these on first and then I'll see what happens. It
just popped up that there's a new thing on StreamYard where the comments will come up at the side. We will try the new stuff. So the goal. We'll talk about the goal first. Mykolenko. A lot of people have been giving Mykolenko stick, saying he can't cross a ball. Iliman Ndiaye, who I need to talk about Iliman Ndiaye for about 5 minutes later on. Iliman Ndiaye knocks it off to Mykolenko. Mykolenko whips the ball in. The cross from Mykolenko doesn't look like it's like that powerful or anything special to score a header from. But are you going to have to calm me down? Alcaraz is a little bit like Tim Cahill. He'll never meet Tim Cahill's criteria because I love Tim Cahill.
Yeah.
But he is those headers late in the box today. Do you know where you don't expect someone to come in and head it in the back of the net? Alcaraz had that today, didn't he? I didn't realise his heading ability was this good, Paul, as it was today. He can head a ball, can't he?
Yeah, it was a really good header because he had to. I don't know whether he was almost from standing, which isn't. You need a lot of power in your neck muscles to be able to generate the power. The direction was really good. Whoever it was who was marking him, I don't know whether they had a stumble or something beforehand, or Alcaraz had sort of held them off. It might have been. It might have been Burn, but yeah, is the other one. There you are. There's Burn. So I think whether he shoved Burns off before the ball's come in or something, he created a bit of space. Burn couldn't recover, and the header's right into the corner. Keeper didn't dive. It was too far away from the keeper for him to do anything about it. So it was a cracking header. Really good.
You know what it was? I like my headers. I do like me. I used to do these headers late in the box. What Alcaraz has done, Paul, is he peeled off. So do you know where he's peeled off on the penalty spot? Burns stayed in to think that Burns has stayed closer to the goal. Alcaraz has peeled off, and then all of a sudden Burns seen Alcaraz and ran out to get him. That's why he's just to try and put him off, but he's never going to get to him. So it's really clever from Alcaraz. I like those late runs in the box because you can't track them. I think if you're sitting on the defender will often beat you. But I think because Mykolenko killed it with his left foot outwards, as you know, it'll go to more to the penalty spot. Alcaraz was in that perfect position where no one was near him. And Burns has tried to quickly get near him. And he hasn't been able to. And it's a cracking finish. It really is a cracking finish. It wasn't... he had this chance earlier on and got it on target. And it was coming from Alcaraz. It really was. And we've been crying out for Alcaraz to play. I've been massively scared whether we're going to sign Alcaraz. That's because David Moyes hasn't been saying in the press, like, we're definitely going to sign him. And rumours in the paper have been saying that Everton want to negotiate the price lower, even though we've got the right to just sign him. Everton don't want to pay the 15 million. So I'm scared, thinking, if we don't sign Alcaraz, I'll be gutted, because he's the type of player me and Paul are crying out for. He's technical, he's strong, he can win the ball, he can score headers. And he's like a Brazilian. These Argentine players and Brazilians have got passion. He's got that as well. So, got to sign him, haven't we? Let us know in the comments. We've got to sign Alcaraz. We need to sign Alcaraz, David Moyes, please. What do you think, Paul? I know you like him, don't you?
Yeah. He should have played more, to be fair. Bruce kept out by Decore. So no, he's definitely, and it was a floaty cross as well. It was a bit of a floaty cross, so he's done really well. And we don't sort of pick him out for his heading ability, but he obviously can. So that's another string to his bow. I thought he was really good on the deck as well, and Endai. There was a few times Skilly Man didn't want to give the ball away, to be honest. So yeah, there was a little bit like that. But he did really well, and Alcaraz, and then you have to throw McNeil in the mix as well when he comes on. We look good. We do look good, and I wouldn't normally do it. However, where is he? This fella did all right today, I thought.
I was going to moan that. I was going to say that I'm not that excited because Michael Keane was playing. I'll be honest with you. But he's just done the job. I still wouldn't get... Until he starts putting 4 or 5 consistent games together with no mistakes, I'm not going to get carried away, because the bar at Everton is high now. Let me just point that out. If he wants to be a backup player and play well, he's got to always play well. But he played well today. I'm not going to go over the top of it, because I've watched Keane for 3 years make mistakes all the time. But if David Moyes is getting the best out of him when he needs to, I'm happy at the end of the day. It's about Everton. But Michael Keane, for how much bad Michael Keane has given me, he's got to put together consistent good performances for me to change my mind. And I don't think I'm wrong in that. I know some people will go over the top today and say, Michael Keane, look, he made us class, absolutely class, sign him this, that, and the other. What I would say is take a proper look at him. I wouldn't personally want Michael Keane to be my first choice centre back week in, week out in the Premier League. I think Newcastle didn't really exploit Michael Keane that much today. I thought Newcastle was quite poor. So, yeah, he had a cracking game. I thought Jake O'Brien was even better. That's not because I'm biased against Michael Keane. I thought he was even better. Oh, you got the comments on the right-hand side. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're very tiny, though, for me. I don't know if people have a bigger screen and stuff, so they might be able to see it. But I always throw some on anyway, so that's fair enough.
Yeah,
Emma's right, though. Emma's right. I don't think anyone's looking for Keane to be one of the first 2 centre backs out of the 4. She's right. It saves us a bit of money on trying to bring someone in who might not play very much. it just makes sense to keep him, I suppose, to some degree, until we get
Yeah,
another
well,
younger centre
I
back
do
who
think it.
fills a spot in, you know.
Well, I listened to David Moyes in the pre-match, sorry, for this game, and Moyes said that he'd like to keep every player if he can. So I think that kind of says that he would keep Michael Keane if he can, and I understand that. I still think our standards got to be better than Michael Keane going forward, but I understand this process isn't going to be quick, and I think until we do bring a good young centre back that's going to give Tarkowski, Branthwaite, and O'Brien competition, Michael Keane, if he's happy to sit there. Maybe. I don't know. But I wouldn't want him to be starting every game. Let's just say that.
No,
I've got to talk about this player, Paul.
go on.
And I think you know what player I'm going to talk about. I think
Maybe.
you know.
Go on.
S to the K to the I to the L L Y, Skilly Man and Jai. I tell you something. He's the only thing that worries me about Njai is that he pulls up with cramp a lot and he struggles to endure the whole game. Like, I don't know if it's because he's so skillful, it twinges his muscles. But oh my days, Paul, if you can, and this is a big statement from me, and I'm ready for a big statement.
Do it. Do it.
If you can, there he is, Illiman Enjoy. If you can get, this is a statement. If you can get Enjoy lasting a whole game and fully fit, give me a Premier League player that is more exciting than Enjoy. He is going to be one of the top players, the best players in the Premier League next season. But because just give me a player that can go past players like Iliman and Jai. You used to have players like your Ronaldos, your Messis, where you get the ball and you think they can go all the way, Paul. They can get the ball on the edge of the box and you think they can go all the way. They get the ball on the halfway line and you think they can go all the way. There's not many players in the Premier League now where when they get the ball, you can think they can take 2-3 players. Remember when Ryan Giggs used to do it, Paul? Ryan Giggs was like, he got the ball and he'd go left, he'd go right, he'd go left and he'd right. And he just kept going. And Jai did that a couple of times today on the halfway line where he just kept, they took him out. They was really dirty on Jai. Let me just point that out. Gamirez was a proper shithouse today. Dirty. Referee should have gave him a card. But he didn't. The referee let him get away with it. And that's why Njai come off injured, because Gamirez, he was doing it to quite a few players, was really dirty. And he always is. But Njai, he's amazing, isn't he, Paul? Like, in the comments, get involved as well. Iliman Njai, he doesn't get the praise that how good he is, Paul, because he plays for Everton. But I've watched Arsenal play. I've watched freaking in the Champions League and think Arsenal haven't got a player that can open up a team when they need a goal. Do you know where they keep passing it from left to right, and they've got no one in that edge of the box position that can do something different to actually open things up, to draw players out or to create something where the team will make a mistake. And Jai is incredible, and we've got to keep him, I'm telling you, because he's insane. He is the real deal. And he doesn't, that's what I see when I see Njai, Paul. But he isn't spoke about like he is that, if you know what I mean. Like,
no, he's
credit
not.
What he is. He's insane, isn't he? He is really good.
I mean, we would, because we know what he's capable of. But because he plays for us, he's sort of under the radar. So a lot of it sort of depends on what happens next year about whether he gets noticed, and we want him to play really well. So chances are that he will get noticed. But he's what I like about him is that he starts off so many things. Will be trapped, sort of to the sideline, or it'll be a really compact midfield or something like that. And we've got to try and break out into a little bit of space to try and create something. And that's what he does. He leans back into players, so he has that space in front of him, and he's got such a good turning circle with the ball. Is that a lot of the time he'll sort of back into a defender as he's receiving the ball to create that bit of space, but then he'll do 2 or 3 touches and just totally do a 180, and the defender just keeps trying to follow him, but doesn't keep up with him. And it happened a few times today. There was one particular time, second half, where he did it, and he just managed to get the ball middle of the pitch, managed to evade. It might have been Isak or someone else actually, and he did a turn, then got away from the defender who was with him initially, and then someone tried to pull him back, and he shrugged them off, and it was ideal. And I think Alcaraz has got that in him as well. So to have two players who can create something when we're in tight spots instead of us passing it back or sideways and then slowing it all down again, to actually have a bit of impetus and a bit of direction and a bit of enthusiasm about getting it forward, that's key. And it creates great chances. It does create great chances.
He's like when you bang on with what you said about enjoy, he's like magnetic. Like sometimes when you think a player's pushed him away from the ball, he's magnets the ball. He comes back in, doesn't he? He draws back in. He's just enjoy. He's just well, I am in love. I can't deny. Our number 10, his name is Iliman Ndiaye. From Senegal to Bramley Moore, he's brilliant. He's the one that we adore, and he's got a cracking song, hasn't he? I am in love.
Ole, ole.
I can't deny our number 10. His name is Iliman Ndiaye. But he was cracking today, and I thought he was. Yeah. He started things, didn't he, Paul? He looked dangerous through the middle on those counter attacks. Newcastle struggled with him. And I think straight away in football, when you're a football player, when you've got someone as skillful as Iliman Ndiaye, you're scared of him. You are scared of him because he can do everything better with a ball than what you can do. Like, if we had a competition between all the Newcastle players and all the Everton players to see who had the best ball control or skills, Iliman Ndiaye would win it. So straight away, Newcastle know that they're against a player that is more skillful than them. And
he would win it. He would win it at speed. That's the difference. It's not just the general ball control. It's the ball control at speed going forward, and that's the key thing. That's the key thing really to remember.
He is fantastic, and the team that so we've got Alcaraz we've got Ndiaye, like we just said, absolutely skillful as how, and then Alcaraz he looks like he reminds me of Cahill. He's got that passion in the middle in that number 10. So two players there, Ndiaye and Alcaraz, that. We've gone from having players that don't take it to the opposition. Like we often said we had players that are scared to do something different, scared to so we just pass the ball and move it and no one's going to say, I've got something. But now we've got players where they say, I've got something. Alcaraz, I've got something. And Ndiaye, I've got something. So we've got players now, Paul, that have got personality. And that's what we've needed into personality, players with personality in games. And I think Ndiaye and Alcaraz have got massive personalities on the pitch. And that showed today. So I'm really excited with this Everton team, as you can probably tell. I think this was a cracking performance, people. We set the bar for next season, haven't we, Paul, now? Like, we have set the bar. Because if we had David Moyes the whole of this season and we perform like we did the patch he's come in, we would have been pushing 5th, 6th position, maybe even 4th, and I'm not even joking. If you add up like how we've done under David Moyes, with the shackles that have been taken off since we've got David Moyes, and the way that this season has gone, I'm not getting carried away. I 100% think, because we was talking about Europa League spots not long ago, Paul. So imagine if we actually did have a good first half of the season. I honestly do believe if we can continue this next season with new signings, Everton fans can be happy again. We've got the new stadium as well. They even said it in the commentary, Paul. They said in the commentary, like, Everton are exciting. They're an exciting team going into next season, like, with the way they played this Newcastle game, the new stadium, and being able to sign players, and David Moyes. Are you excited? Because we are.
Yeah.
It's a good way to finish the season, isn't it?
Massive, yeah, brilliant. Because almost in the past, it's like, oh God, well, next season we've got to watch out for that relegation. We've got to watch out. Are we better than that team? Are we better than that team? And constantly looking at the bottom three. And it's nice not to have had to do that for what seems like the last quarter of the season, really. So that's been good. But then the aim is always to improve. The aim is always to move forward, get better. And the players that you bring in, you want them to be as good or better than the players that you've got. And if we manage to do that, and you think of who we've got at the moment, if they're of that caliber or better, then it could be an exciting season. but it's key positions to do that as well. You know, we're not going to have 11 Ndiays and Alcarazes, for example, but there's some key positions in there that we need to focus on. And what Emma said before, she mentioned we've got other priorities than fourth choice centre back, you know, to swap around. So there's going to be some players that people that aren't that keen on that are going to stay, you know, that are going to be around for a little while.
Obviously, we know Decore is leaving, and thank you, Decore, for what you've done for us. I'm not joking. Our football club probably wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for Decore. He would have been in the Championship. And I thank him for what he's done for. I think he got a better offer. He's decided to move on. We said we'd give him another contract. He's got a better deal. He's at an age where I'm not going to cry about him leaving. But I do think we need to bring someone in Decore's position, because one thing I will say is that when Decore and McNeil come on, it's been the first time in a long time, Paul, that I felt really strong on the bench. Do you know what I mean? When those two come on, Decore and McNeil, it didn't feel like we brought weaker players on. It felt like we brought good players on, because you knew Decore would come on and give it 110%. At 1-0, he's a good player to come on because he's got a lot of energy. And McNeil coming on as a winger, we actually don't mind McNeil, do we? So it was nice to have strong players coming on as well. And I think that's what we've got to make sure we do next season, is that it felt nice, those two subs coming on. Our bench has to be strong, because the way how intense football is nowadays, your players don't last 60 minutes. They don't. They all striker has to come off after 60 minutes. Your wingers have to come off after 60 minutes. Your centre mids have to come off. Sometimes they're on a card 60 minutes. So yeah, I do think you do need a big squad. It was nice to see Decore and McNeil come on. Calvert-Lewin come on. Emma said in the comments that it's his. Do you think that'll be Calvert-Lewin's last game, Paul?
You know what, with DCL, I never want to say a player's not trying, because I think they do try to a point. But I know it was just the last couple of minutes and stuff. But even in the last few games when Dominic's come on, you don't feel as though he's given everything. Do you know what I mean? He's kind of like he's giving it kind of 60, 70% kind of. If I don't get it the first time, I won't chase anything down the second. And I think that's the difference. And between him and Beto, and why people are more pro Beto now, because why wouldn't you? You know, and it's not as if he's compensated for what seems like a lack of effort with Beto with sundry skills or great hold-up work or anything like that. It's not like you've got one on one side, one on the other, and it probably is right that he moves on. Yeah. I agree, Lulo. I think he's been like that for a while, but he seems like a decent fella. He's been with us for a long time. He's done some great things for us, you know, and he has got a bit of class about him, but he's not shown it since, well, Ancelotti probably.
RH the Toffee says it's either Beto or Dom who goes. At the end of the day, I think 90% of the fan base know who we want to go. And if you had to, I don't think we're going to keep Beto. And I don't think Calvert-Lewin wants to stay. He hasn't signed the contract. I don't think he wants to stay. I do think he'll go. There's been some bad stuff that have happened. It shouldn't have happened. I think definitely shouldn't have happened. It's been called out by Everton Football Club, so I don't even need to go in it. Everton fans ain't even like that. You just get some weirdos that send messages like that. And they shouldn't be sent like that. But going away from Calvert-Lewin getting abuse, which he shouldn't have got, I don't want him to stay. I don't think he tries enough. I think his finish, when he had that chance when he come on, he didn't look like a player that wanted to stay. I think if he had confidence and he wanted to stay, he probably would have scored it. I think he's already probably knows he's on his way out. Calvert-Lewin wouldn't like that Beto's getting in ahead of him with his ego. I think he'd probably think that I'm better than Beto and I'm getting left out. So I think with Calvert-Lewin's contract at an end, I don't think he's going to want to sign with Everton, to be fair. I think he'll probably have in his head that he's been mistreated and should be playing over Beto. I don't know. It's going to be an interesting one, but as people say in the comments, I think it's going to be one or the other and we sign a new striker. There's been talks of us getting the big man from Ipswich, and I'd love Beto and the big man from Ipswich, but are we going to get that lucky? everything's going to have to go for us to get him.
Yeah,
or it'd be
more names. More names will be thrown up, and people will suddenly become available and throw in transfer requests and everything else. And you've got to trust the people who are going to make the decisions on who we go for, and trust that we've got the owners who've got the money to, put it where it matters. I was just going to say there. Rod was asking before whether what was the point season last season. So the difference that we've got is that we finished on 40 points last season and 48 this season. But it seemed like a very big difference, didn't it? Probably because it was a lot later where we were safe, really. So, but 48 points seems not bad when you sort of think about who's around us or below us. Actually, you think that we finished above all those sides in Man U, Spurs, West Ham, then it's not too bad.
I said to Chloe, Paul, I said to Chloe, I goes, if we would have had David Moyes at the start of this season, we would not have let Bournemouth come back and score 3. I don't want to remind people of this. David Moyes would not have let what happened against Bournemouth happen. Like 84 minutes, Bournemouth score 3 goals when we've got Jake O'Brien on the bench. I'm sorry. Some people will still give Dyche praise because they think, he did good when he was going through the point deductions and stuff. But at the end of the day, Dyche had a really bad season this season, and David Moyes had to come in and smash it. We was like in contention to get relegated this season when David Moyes took over. David Moyes said that. He said, "I've got a big job to make sure that we go into Bramley Moor Dock safe." Dyche was awful this season. He was. We lost a lot of games. We didn't have shots on target. We drew a lot of games. And the amount of games we was 2-0 up and let the opposition win. We did it against Bournemouth. We did it against Newcastle. It was awful against Leicester. We let them come back and draw. Dyche was awful. David Moyes come in and mopped up a lot of crap that Dyche did. David Moyes was fantastic. And David Moyes has shown that where Dyche acted like these players wasn't capable of that much, David Moyes has come in and we've seen Mikalenko bombing it forward. We've seen our right back bomb it forward. We've seen O'Brien come in that wasn't even an option under David Moyes. We've seen Gana Gay actually be allowed to pass the ball, which he didn't seem to be allowed under Dyche that much. And everyone's come to light. And Beto didn't even get a game. And Beto scored how many goals for us this season? He didn't get a game under Dyche that much. So can you see that David Moyes has come in and been Moyes never admits it in the press, Paul. He never admits it. He'll never call Dyche down. He'll say Dyche has done a good job. But for me, I'm sorry, Dyche was awful this season. David Moyes has been incredible. And Dyche left with a bar here and said he can't do any more. And David Moyes has come in and shown that we're capable of quite a lot and smashed it. So I wouldn't put them two on the same par because I think Moyes has been class. Do you know this game? I think we could have had some. Yeah, I agree. Well, I was meant to say this game, Newcastle, they had to win. It was in that situation where for 75 minutes, Paul? It might have been 85 minutes. For 85 minutes, Newcastle had to win to get top 4 because Chelsea was winning.
Yeah,
Chelsea was winning, and Newcastle. All the fans knew it. Newcastle knew till 85th minute, they needed to win. So we've beat a Newcastle team, Paul, that had so much at stake, that was giving their absolute everything. Yeah. And I like that. I like this game because this game has set the standard for us. Because I like the challenge. I want to play a team that's got something to play for, to say, how good are we? And I think today we've shown, Newcastle are in Champions League next season. Newcastle had a full team today, and we beat them. Let that settle in, right? They had a lot to play for. They gave absolutely everything. They only had one player missing, Joe Linton, but they had Gamirez, they had Tonali, they had Gordon, they had Barnes, they had freaking Isaac. They had all the centre backs, Botman, they had Byrne, they had Shot. They had the best team Newcastle did today. And they don't even like Everton that much. And they gave absolutely everything to beat Everton today. And they couldn't frigging beat us, mate. They could not beat us. And just that's our bar for next season, They've got top 4. So next season, we're better than Newcastle. We've gone away to their ground when they've needed to win to get top 4. I know they got it in the end because Chelsea messed up. But that made me feel good today. Didn't you, Paul? That we played a game where they needed to win and they just couldn't beat us and we're away. And we're going to sign players next season, not even fully strong. And that's our bar, people. That's what we've got to be next season. Because if we're better than Newcastle now, with not even like new players signed yet, we've got to stay better than them next season and go even above and have a good season next season. That's our bar, people. I'm buzzing with today. What a result.
Yeah. Boy's right. Gordon went off at half time, didn't he? We stifled him. Absolutely. Actually, let me just point out as well, and I know he did it a few times for us, Gordon, but that was the most blatant dive I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Young literally just feet together, hands in the air, not touching him, and then he goes and does that. Absolute joke. That one that was a free kick, and 2 that he didn't get booked, but we saw him off by half time, and Pickford made a few saves today.
He's the man we've got to talk about now. Yeah, go and talk about it.
But they weren't. But by Pickford's standards, they weren't all like. It wasn't like a Chelsea save in there, or like some other amazing save. By Pickford's standards, they were all fairly standard.
Middle of the goal. Yeah, middle of the goal, comfortable ones. Yeah. Good save in the right positions. Yeah. Maybe the one with his leg, where he tapped it with his leg near post. That was probably the one where you say. Lucky he was in the right position, but
it shows what Newcastle's level was today, and they've been very lucky today. Very lucky. Forest are going to be really disappointed that they didn't give more of a fight against Chelsea and come up with something. They'll look back at their 2-2 draw with Leicester at home, which has really cost them, and Villa. Do you know what I mean? Down to 10 men after 20 odd minutes or something. So. They've been lucky, and I'm frustrated that we won the game, but they were still happy at the end.
It's funny because do you know when Newcastle found out that Chelsea had conceded? When Newcastle found out that was when Calvert-Lewin was coming on, and I thought the crowd was all cheering that Calvert-Lewin's coming on. I was like, "What's going on here?" Because it was the exact time that Calvert-Lewin come on. The Newcastle fans found out, and I think even Calvert-Lewin thought he was getting a big reception because the Newcastle fans have found out, and the stadium went a little bit erupt, and that was when Calvert-Lewin was coming on. Yeah, it would have been. I think it would have been even better for Pickford if we'd won that game and we'd won it in a way to stop them getting top 4.
Yeah.
It would have. I would have liked that as well. It would have been good, but
and we thought, didn't we? We thought, well, I don't know. As soon as that ball hit the hand of whoever their right back was, I thought, penalty, Pickford, where are you? But referee, I think play went on, and then VAR thought, forget it. No, the ball hadn't gone out, so it wasn't like, I've just got to wait a minute and then see, Well, it was a case of the ball stayed in and carried on, so they just, forget it, play on.
They used it as an excuse that because it hit the other player and it made it closer. Do you know what I mean? It hit the centre back, and when it hit the centre back, it made it closer before it hit contact with the player's arm. But the player's arm was still out, wasn't in a natural position. So
I get it. I get why it wasn't. I
thought we was going to get it. I'm with you. I thought we was going to get it. But they've made an excuse not to give it. I think if that was against us, it would have been a penalty. We've seen it with Amadou Onana when he went like that with his arm there, and they gave a penalty against Onana.
Oh, there's been some shockers. Well, I mean, the who were we playing when they hit it against Mikalenko's arm? Was it Fulham? It might have been Fulham. Yeah, it was Fulham, wasn't it? And then the referee was asked to go over, but then he still didn't give it. So you just want a bit of consistency, I suppose, don't you? So maybe that was consistency today.
I personally, I think that with the way we would have got it against us, that penalty, if it was the opposite way around, it probably wouldn't have. It would have been given. But I think going forward, if officials are going to be better, the rules need changing, I think. And I think the rules need putting in place properly, because I don't think the rules are right. I don't think. I don't think they're like just. There's questions on the rules, Paul, because I don't think they're cemented. Do you know what I'm saying? Like there is questions. I think
Grey area.
Yeah, there's grey areas. Exactly right. Words. Teacher's going to do me on words here, isn't he? But I think if your arms going into the ball, and you're making your arm go into the ball, I think it's handball. I think if you're not moving your arm and it's close to your body, and you're not moving it to the ball, it shouldn't be handball because it's not intentional. It's as simple as that. Yeah. And some people will say, "Oh, well, how do you know whether it's intentional or not?" Well, if his arm's there and he's not moving it, he's not trying to handball it. So I don't know. The handball rule needs changing for me because they never get that right, do they? That's probably one of the biggest rules that they never get right. The handball rule.
They took deliberate out. Didn't they take deliberate out of the actual wording? Because that itself is ridiculous. I mean, how often do people deliberately handle the ball in the box? Do you know what I mean? But you know, it was actually Tierney on VAR today. I think I didn't recognise the names of the other referees, to be honest. But Tierney was on VAR.
Emma says they changed the rules to suit the problem. They do that, so they'll literally see what's happened on VAR and think, right, let's have a look for the rule book to cover ourselves here and try. Yeah, she's right on what she says. Absolutely, bang on. Yeah, referees are all. It's going to be interesting. I've seen a rule coming next season where it said that if any player goes to the referee to moan about it, it's going to be a yellow or something like that, other than the captain.
They won't do that. They won't do it. The first weekend, they'll pick out a player from someone who's bottom mid-table, something like that. They won't do it against anyone of the sort of top six, blah blah, all that sort of stuff, and then it won't happen again because that's generally what happens.
Yeah, well, that's what they've said. They basically said, I remember it now. If a player goes up to the referee, it's a yellow card. If he goes up to the referee to speak to the referee, it's a yellow card. That's what I heard anyway. Don't know if that rule will get put in place, but there's going to be a lot of bloody yellow cards, isn't there, with how many players do go to the referees.
I just can't see it happen. It certainly won't be consistent, will it? Bloody hell. There's no chance there's going to any consistency if you're going to do that.
Well, I just want to say, on the pre-match, we didn't do a pre-match because John was coming on the pre-match with me, and one of his family, I think it's his mum, is in hospital, bless him. And I wish her all the best and stuff like that. And I said to him, just cancel the show, mate. Focus on your mum. So we didn't do a pre-match because of that. Obviously, Paul was busy. So we had John set up. So if you think, I just didn't give a crap about the pre-match, I did. But John was set up. And trust me, I know what the Toffee Blue cast people are like in the comments. They'd all be like, John, I hope your mum gets better. So John couldn't come on. Thoughts with you and your mum, John. So he couldn't come on. That's why we didn't do it.
That's John Sinclair from Newcastle, by the way. That's
John Sinclair from Newcastle, who always comes on our regular. So thoughts with him. So he didn't come on. And if you know him, wish him well or be there for him. So we didn't do that. And this is the end of this. This is the last one. I think so what we're going to talk about now is we're going to say, Who was your captain? Who was your man of the match? Who was your man of the match for the game? That's what we're going to do now. So, who's your man of the match? Who was your man of the match? And then we'll finish by saying goodbye. So, who was your man of the match? We'll start with something that everyone likes doing and then go to the goodbye after. Who was your man of the match, Paul? Garner Gay's incredible every game now, isn't he?
He was very good.
He was
very good. To be fair,
he had a right spatter with Gamirez, didn't he? Garner Gay can be dirty as well. He had a go with him.
I thought Alcaraz was up there. I thought Mikalenko played well. I thought Ndiaye did really well. I'd probably pick out Alcaraz. Just the goal would probably tip it, but you could pick out a few people who did a cracking job. Young played well today.
Who was your man of the match?
In his last game, in his last game for us. So there's a few people who played their last game today.
When you go in a stadium when you go in Newcastle Stadium and you've got that many fans that hate you, and Sunderland got promoted, by the way, so even more fans that hate Jordan Pickford, yeah.
Good
so when you've got that many, yeah, when you've got that many people that hate you as Pickford, and people wear dinosaurs in the Newcastle fans, the weirdos. When you've got that many fans that hate Jordan Pickford, and they always want him to have a shite game. They always want him to make a mistake. He really does excel against Newcastle, doesn't he, Paul? All the time.
I loves it.
All the time. He loves it against Newcastle. Like, they can't score against him. He makes incredible saves. Even the Newcastle fans have started thinking, let's not give him stick because we're making him better instead of worse. And I just want to say that because there's a lot of people that say Pickford in the there's a lot of people that say Pickford in the comments. Danny Ellis has gone for Keno. Nah, that felt wrong.
Yeah,
Keno.
He did well though. I don't think.
Well.
I wouldn't really pick out. I certainly wouldn't pick out anyone who started the game as having a poor game. I thought we all played well. I thought the people who came on.
I was a little bit disappointed in was Harrison. The only person I was a little bit disappointed.
Yeah,
I thought Harrison had a few crap crosses in, but it does shift him.
That lad, wherever he is, whether it's with us or someone else, he's just got to practice his bloody crossing, hasn't he?
Yeah, because he can't take players on. So his cross. I feel as a winger, you've either got to be good at taking players on or have a really good ball whipped in. And I think he doesn't take players on, and his crosses ain't that good. But he has got the energy to get up and down, and he works his arse off. Absolutely works his arse off, and he helped Ashley Young. Ashley Young was fantastic today, wasn't he, for his last game? I hope he goes and does well with whatever he's done. Because when we first signed Ashley Young, I thought he was like, he didn't show his experience, and I thought he was jumping in. He really did my head in, Ashley Young did. But the way he's finished this season off, Paul, he's been a professional, and he's been a lot better, hasn't he, Ashley Young? A lot better.
Well,
he's actually been better.
I mean, whatever he's going to do, he could probably get another couple of seasons. To be honest, depends obviously what level. He's certainly fit enough. But you sort of look back at who he's played for. He's had a cracking career. He's been a proper wind-up merchant to some people. And I saw his message of congratulations to Inter because obviously he played at Inter and they've done a decent job. So, fair plays to him. Yeah. Fair plays to him. Max wants to follow.
Yeah, I'm just looking now. Max Taylor. To be fair, sometimes if I haven't followed you back, it's just because I don't know who you are by your profile. But
on X, I've wondered a few times actually. When you have I wouldn't post this on X, but it always comes into my mind. If someone's got they're following lots of people, but they don't have lots of followers. And then I give them a follow. I think, why don't you follow me back? What have I done? It's just stupid stuff like that.
You're trying to call me out
there? Not you. No, not at all. No, I'm just thinking, well, why do you follow me? I'm an Everton fan as well. Why have I done wrong?
You wouldn't believe it, but you actually get a lot of people on X that have got Everton profiles that are cop-outs, on Twitter. And you wouldn't actually believe it.
Oh, wow. It's weird that, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got so many trolls that I've followed before and they've got an Everton profile. Then all of a sudden they go back to Liverpool and they change the picture. And that's not even a joke. That's sad, honestly. The amount of comments I get by Liverpool fans that are obsessed. I will find you when I come off Matt Taylor.
Max. Yeah, he does support Everton, he says.
Yeah,
so he's got some sense.
We've got it's the end of the season, but we have got TikTok now, and we're on 1,400 followers on TikTok. We're new to that, but yeah, it's got some nice new topics on it, and I do like that there's new ones as well that are on the TikTok. So a few of them I'd like to think are coming over here, so we might have even more Everton fans next season, and that's probably perfect. I'll find Max Taylor when I come off. That's done my head in now that I haven't got him on. What I was going to say to you, and Lulu, shout out to you as well. We will be sending you an Everton gift all the way to wherever you are because you massively supported the channel. You really have got. Yeah. You shouldn't have, to be fair, Lulu. You really shouldn't have. But
lovely present at the end of the last one.
We love you, but we're gonna get you back. Me and Paul are gonna get you back because we're gonna think of a really good Everton gift that we can get you and send to you. And I know you say no, but we're doing it, whether you like it or not. And we'll send it back. And we'll have to get something for Emma as well, because she's been cracking. But you've all been cracking, and that's kind of going into how we're going to finish the show. I just want to say, and I'll say my piece, and Paul will say his piece. I just want to say, this season under Dyche has been done my head in, but it's been really nice since we've been good under David Moyes in the comments and stuff, and we're stuck together throughout everything, and all our subscribers as well. Thanks for supporting us. I know you get some people that just don't want to go on the Toffee Bluecast just because they want to be like, they want to just act. I don't know. I don't know why you wouldn't want to come on, because we just chat to you. But yeah, a lot of people have come on now, and it's doing really well. I love it. Paul loves it. We speak to you in the comments, and we're on a lot of subscribers now. Paul, how many subscribers are on now?
6,190 something, I think.
Yeah, and I think it was on 1,000. Was we even on 1,000?
The end of season goal was 2,000.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
And so it's very, very much appreciated. Very, very much.
Yeah, so. Yeah. But we get Mark Doyle in the comments. Honestly, I could literally, if I was to write down on a piece of paper how many, all the names that we know, Paul, and that we regularly speak to in the comments, I know for a fact we could write down at least probably 200 people that regularly come in the comments. And I think if Toffee Bluecast has brought 200 Evertonians together regularly before and after every game, after only 2 years, I think it's cracking. I'm interested in seeing what we can do and where we can take this Toffee Bluecast, because we'd like events, and we'd like to put money out to charities, and we'd like to do a lot of stuff with it. I'm interested to see how big we can make this Toffee Bluecast. Let's make it incredible, because the more people get behind it, the better things we can do with it. And I'm really happy with it this season. I know you are as well, ain't you, Paul? I'll let you.
Yeah, no, it's always lovely to do, and it's. Yes, I can't say it's been a long few years. You know what though? It doesn't feel like we've been doing it a very long time. You sort of look back at the games that we've covered and things like that. You think, oh God, that game seemed ages ago, but it doesn't seem any time at all that I was, that we had this camera or that light or that, that kind of graphic on the screen, or we didn't have any graphics on the screen, or we did add this and we didn't have that, and it's been brilliant. It has been fantastic.
Did you have a bandage on your arm when you first come on?
Did I have a bandage on my arm?
Yeah, I think you had that white one with a bandage on your wrist. I can't remember, or something from.
I might have done.
When you first come on.
Can't remember.
Go back. We'll have to put some clips of the stuff that we've been through, but I want to also remind you that we're going into the new stadium, and we did a show on it, and we said goodbye to Goodison Park. We're going into the new stadium, nice, happy. We're playing well. We've got Moyes. He's doing well as a manager. We're signing players next season. But let's not forget, right? Let's not forget. And let's just going into this new stadium, what we've had before feeling good going into this new stadium, what we've had is Rafa Benitez as Everton manager. Benitez, Everton manager, right? We've had the 777 partners that nearly took over us and went into administration and got bust. They nearly took over us. Luckily, they didn't take over us. We've had Texter.
We did say, though, actually, just on that, fair play to Rob, Luke. I think you might have said the same thing. Didn't think it was going to happen. And it didn't. And it didn't.
No, it wouldn't happen. Then we had John Texter that was going to take over us, and I think he would have been dangerous as well, Paul. Texter, he wouldn't have been good, would he? Because I think Leon went into big trouble with him, later on. They went into big trouble. Leon did with Texter.
Really?
So, yeah, they had to sell a lot of players. That's why we got Jake O'Brien, and they sold a lot of players, Leon did. So I think Texter would have been bad. So Benitez, 777 partners, Texter. Then we had Dyche. I put Dyche in there a little bit, but some people like Dyche, but whatever. We had the Crystal Palace comeback from 2-0 to 3-2.
Yeah.
Pitch invasion. Then we had the Bournemouth comeback where if Doucouré didn't score against Bournemouth, right, we got relegated The new stadium, we would have been in such financial mess because we was in trouble financially anyway. We would not have got this owner that we've got now if we ended up in the Championship. I don't think the stadium would have even been built, Paul. Don't think the stadium would have been built. So we really have rode through one of the biggest storms, and we've been doing it on the channel live, and we've rode through one of the biggest storms, and just don't remember what we've been through. That's all I'm basically saying. Don't remember what we've been through because we've been through so much crap. We really have been through so much crap. And sometimes when you get given something, it's good. You forget of all the crap you've had to go through to get it, Paul.
Mm.
We've been through so much crap, and we are lucky to be in this position that we're in now.
And you're only picking out stuff that's happened while we've been on.
Yeah,
we brought all of that into the channel with us. And the idea was that we would make it more positive for everyone because it was obviously
counselling.
It was a bit of tough going at the time. I just saw Cass saying that he's got his season ticket for next season. So good on you. You won't miss Cass. He's about 10 foot tall. He's like the child of Hale. Anyone who's around here.
No, he's a big man. Yeah. He's a big rugby man. He's
a big boy. So. Yeah, and we'll continue to do that, but hopefully now it'll be lots of celebrations. We won't need as much blue therapy as we've had before. You know.
I'm telling you now. Listen to me carefully, people. Right, listen to me carefully. If Crystal Palace can win a trophy, if Newcastle can break that curse and win a trophy, we're going to win a trophy. I watched Crystal Palace do that, and I was so happy for them, by the way. And I don't normally get happy for other teams because Everton's my one love. But I was happy for them because I know what it feels like to not be successful for quite a long time. And I do believe Crystal Palace, when I watched them win a trophy this season and we beat them, I'm telling you something. Everton, under David Moyes, if David Moyes can get West Ham a trophy, there's no reason why he can't get us a trophy. I'm telling you. We're getting a trophy, and I can't wait to see our fans in Wembley celebrating a trophy, Paul, after all the crap that we've been through. Do you know what they say? Like when you climb a mountain, when you've been through more crap, the view's even better at the top, isn't it, Paul? Do you know what I'm saying? The harder it is to climb the mountain, the more you appreciate it when you're at the top. And I'm telling you, we're not just going to be talking about our history soon. We're going to be a successful football club again because that ground is beautiful. That ground is beautiful. David Moyes is going to get to spend, and our football team has been decent with not even strength in depth, or it's been a bit makeshift this season, hasn't it, Paul? And we've still been we're still beating really good teams. And we know we're going to have a lot better team next season. If you know where I'm coming from, I'm not getting over the top here. Because of the financial situation, we've just had to have to do with the budget we've got. Next season, we can spend for the first time in a long time. And we've got a good platform. We have a really good platform to build on, I feel. A really good. Jake O'Brien, when he was good right back, I had Godfrey stuff in my head thinking, is he going to be good right back but be crap when he's centre back, Paul? No. He can play centre back and right. You can see centre back, he's got it as well. So I'm excited. We've got two incredible centre backs, and Tarkowski's good as well. So that's your platform. I'm excited for next season.
Yeah, it is going to be really good, really good. And I just love it when we all get together. Even before, and some people might not know this, but when me and Dan are sort of in the green room getting ready to come on and stuff like that, and people comment before the show starts, if we've won, like if it's a good win, everyone's absolutely buzzing. They're throwing comments in before we've even started the stream. And it's just everyone's dead happy with themselves. And it's awesome, that.
And we fight with all of our might for the boys in there. We've had some good... Yeah, because we haven't been winning many games. And as an Everton... Because we love Everton. We all do. Wherever you support Everton from. Because we love Everton. We do love them. If they lose, you have a shit weekend. You still... It's not like a complete shit weekend, Paul, but it just makes your weekend better when we win, doesn't it?
Oh,
we've had a couple of those wins. It's nice to come off Toffee Bluecast and say to people, Have a boss weekend, everyone. Everton have won. Have a boss weekend, everyone. Everton. And we've done it quite a few times under Moyes. Have a boss weekend, everyone. Everton have won, and it's nice. There's nothing to moan about. You can wear your Everton top and not feel like a twat. So yeah, it's good. It's good. Tarkowski screamer. You know what I mean? Against them at home last game. A good spot. Tarkowski screamer.
For me, that's the moment for me.
They wanted that.
This season.
They wanted to beat us the last game of Goodison Park and they couldn't.
Yeah. No, that was being there for that. And it was right in front of me as well because I was lower Bullens, right in sort of in line with him alongside him as he goes there. Not gonna forget that. That's my pick of the season, without a doubt. And it was just a key moment and one that you're not going to forget. And there was lots of those this season. That's what Goodison's given us.
Yeah, where Lulu says that's why we do the show. To be fair, what Emma has said is true.
Oh, sorry. Go on. Sorry.
Just take that away from me then. You know I can't read that good that I can remember what it says. I was reading that good. What Emma said is true. You have made a difference through thick and thin. Always come away feeling better after the Toffee Bluecastle. That's nice words, you know.
That's the idea. That's the idea.
Good energy is what we always feel like we've got a duty, don't we, Paul, to make sure everyone's feeling good. You don't want to leave Everton fans feeling like shite. And I've been on stuff before, and sometimes I've been on spaces where it's just argumenting and ripping into people, and just I don't want that. I want a channel where you can come on, it's good energy, you feel comfortable, no one gets bullied, no one gets crap in the comments, everyone gets respected. And this is a channel where we've built up a lot of people come in the comments. And me and Paul have been on the show and everyone's just having a chat with each other. 5 or 6 Everton fans having a chat, meeting up on the Toffee Bluecast. And that's what it's all about for us. That is what it's about. Just bringing Everton fans together, interacting with you. And I can't wait for next season to see what we're going to do with the Toffee Bluecast in that Bramley Moore Dock Stadium. I'm going to try and get to a few more games. Rob's going to a few more, who's on the show a lot. Caswell will be going to loads. Paul, you've done well this season, to be fair. You've got quite a few in.
I've thrown a lot in this season, to be fair.
Yeah, you have thrown a lot in this season.
Can't wait for that.
Yeah, it is going to be a cracker, everyone. Thanks for everyone's nice words. We will keep you all night, but we're not going to because we're trying to stick to the hour, which we never, ever do.
We never do.
Yeah, unbeaten, beat Newcastle last game. I knew we would beat them. I don't know why, but I just knew we was 8-1 to beat Newcastle today. That's how good it is that we beat a team. That's how much people thought Newcastle are better than us. You know what I mean? And we've gone and beat Newcastle, who have got top 4. We beat a top 4 team that needed to beat us. Have a boss one, Paul. What you got for me?
No, I was going to say, did you see me message from before about that video? Or not?
No, go on, tell me.
Oh, no, just that I'd put together. We can do it separate if you want. Sorry to do this now. I'd basically been saving the best photos of Goodison from this season and just put it together. So we can do that as a separate if you want, or I have got it.
It's up to you. Whether you want to put it on now, whether you want to do it as a separate show, it's up to you, Paul. Completely on you.
Ooh. I'll do it. Or if you give me 2 seconds, just grab 1 or 2 of the comments and I'm just going to throw it on.
Yeah, I'm just seeing what we've got.
We can move on.
Hi, Dan and Paul. Hope you're well. Yeah, well, we missed you. We're better late than never, but we missed you. Yeah, we're really well. Last time you'll see us this season, last game of the season. Me and Paul, we booked Maldives until first game of the season, haven't we, Paul?
I wish. God, that'd be amazing. There we are, live from the Maldives.
More like Skegness Deves, more like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. This video is not gonna do it. This video is not gonna do it, so we'll do it as a separate one. But yeah, it'd be nice to show it just as the season finishes anyway.
We'll have one more show where we'll try and get everybody on. So let us know. Get in contact with us. We'll try and get everybody on. We'll try and put Caswell on. we'll pull him out the hat.
Yeah.
He says his daughter's playing football now and he's quite busy, Caswell. We'll try and get Rob on. He's just had a little baby. We'll try and get a lot of the regs on, and we'll get everyone. And if you want to come on, let us know. Right. See you later, everyone.
Nice, yeah.
Have a boss one.
Yeah,
Up the fucking toffees. Up the toffees, baby. We are class. We are class. I'm telling you. They used to call me crazy, Paul, when I used to be positive, but I think it's starting to pass on now. Everton are good again. Everton are back, baby. Oh, he's a Mackem, he's a blue. He's a toffee through and through. He hates Newcastle, he hates the shite. Jordan Pickford is dynamite. They were singing that today. Love it. Up the toffs, everyone. Have a boss one. And we'll be back at some point. Have a boss one. There we go. Look, the beasts. The beasts. Have a boss.